Hello, hockey fans. Austin here with just a quick news update. I don't have a voice to do a proper full day after discussion episode, so I do apologize if you've been waiting for that, but I wanted to make sure that I got at least something out for all of you fans who've been tuning in regularly and were anxiously awaiting my newest upload today. I do apologize that it is not a full day after discussion. However, we do have a couple things to talk about from the game last night. Number one, Vegas's Nicolas, he is going to have a hearing with player safety for that cross-check on Trent Frederic. Last night, Nicolas Roy, the puck flew up in the air, and then he just full-on cross-checked Trent Frederic right in the face. Maybe broke Frederic's nose. We're not quite sure, actually. Frederic was bleeding. They showed him on the bench. He had a bunch of gauze up the one nostril. Obviously, Trent Frederic is going to be okay. He will likely still play tomorrow. Not too concerned about that. But obviously, for Nicolas Roy, you got to be in control of your stick. I don't disagree with the hearing. He likely gets suspended for one game if he is getting a hearing. I am kind of surprised, though. There have been a lot of head contact plays in the playoffs so far that have not been called, that have, only resulted in fines. Some of them haven't resulted in any supplemental discipline at all. So I do think it is interesting and worth mentioning that player safety has taken a look at that one specifically. Now, I don't know if anything happened previously in the game that might be warranting this. Maybe the league is looking at this as some kind of retributional act. I don't know if Trent Frederic got Nicolas Roy earlier in the game or not with some kind of hit. Maybe he was mad at something. I do not know. I don't want to speculate on that stuff, but Nicolas Roy is going to have a hearing for that cross-check to Trent Frederic's face. The Oilers, they had a 5-minute power play in overtime last night. They could not convert on that 5-minute power play, which was very unfortunate. However, they eventually were able to score because they got away with a missed tripping call on Viktor Arvidsson. Arvidsson took Brayden McNabb down in the corner behind the Vegas net, and there was no call. McNabb went harder to the boards, looked like shoulder first. He was in a lot of discomfort on the ice. He did get up under his own power, skated back to the bench. He is listed as day-to-day. He could even play tomorrow in Game 3 against Edmonton. And obviously, as an Oilers fan, I really hope he's okay, right? Like, I don't ever wish injury upon any player in hockey. That's not who I am. That's not something that I ever advocate for. I would hope most fans are not advocating for injuring other players. That is just bad juju, bad karma. I would never wish it. Despite the fact that sometimes things get rough and players do go after each other, I prefer just a hard, clean game at all times. And for Brayden McNabb, hopefully he's okay. Arvidsson was obviously... that's a penalty 10 times out of 10. I don't know how the officials missed that. I saw someone mention last night that if you look at the angle that the one official was looking at, it looked like Arvidsson just shoved him into the boards, but even still, that would have been a shove from behind at minimum with the way the angle looked. I'm just shocked that they didn't call the penalty, right? And Vegas fans, you have all the right in the world to be as frustrated as humanly possible right now. And of course, that extends to the coach and Mark Stone. Now, Mark Stone, after the game, he basically was saying that it was clearly a penalty. Mark Stone was also quoted saying, now we are probably down a D-man. It's a dirty play. And for Mark Stone, now, I don't want to be one of those people that, goes after a specific player, right? Stone, he's the captain. He is the guy that is going to step up for his teammate. Was it dirty? No. Was it a penalty? Absolutely in the moment. But for Mark Stone to come out and say that that's a dirty play when he ruined Miro Heiskanen's season earlier this year by jumping at his knee, I don't know what Mark Stone is doing here. Now, Stone says that the play by Arvidsson was dirty, but then Stone does things like that. I don't know, man. Listen, Mark Stone, I understand the frustration in the moment, but you are also someone that does not so clean things to gain an advantage. Players do this sort of thing. I don't agree with it. Mark Stone might have to look at himself in the mirror before he calls other players dirty or other plays dirty, in my opinion. And Vegas fans, you're going to come after me for showing that. You're going to say he was tripped, he lost his balance, it was an accident, blah, blah, blah. I've heard it all. That is an accidentally on purpose dive into Heiskanen's leg that ended his regular season, and he's obviously probably still being affected by that right now. That is a dirty play. That, to me, is a dirty play. Never seen anything like that before this season in terms of a player just going after someone. Arvidsson tripped McNabb. Plain and simple, missed trip. The Oilers, they win. But is it because of the missed trip that Edmonton won? Well, there were earlier plays in the game that were not called, right? I barely talk about officiating on this channel because it is bad literally everywhere. It is legitimately bad in the entire NHL, regular season, and playoffs. So I usually refrain from talking about specific plays or missed moments by officials because at the end of the day, things usually even out whether we agree with it or not, because that, the whole game management thing. And earlier in the game, you had Brandon Saad make contact with Calvin Pickard, landed on Calvin Pickard's left leg, that is. Calvin Pickard was shaken up. He was trying to shake off that leg. He was trying to still focus on the play in front of him. And Vegas, on that exact same shift, they tied the game up. So they scored off of a beneficial non-call in their favor earlier in the game. Now, in my opinion, I don't think officials are purposely looking at one thing or the other and deciding what they want to call versus what they don't want to call in that moment. I just think things happen fast, and it's a judgment call. It's a reaction. You see someone touch the goalie. Do you put your arm up right away? You see a player go hard into the boards. Do you put your arm up right away? I'm not saying it's easy, and I am not justifying the actions of players on the ice for either team right now. I'm not justifying if the officials are truly game managing the way a lot of fans think they are. But I'm just saying that this is a situation where earlier in the game, Vegas benefited from a non-call. The Oilers, they also benefit from a non-call. I know a lot of fans are going to come out and be like, well, the Oilers fans can never complain about officiating again. Trust me, I do not complain that much on this channel. There are certain moments. Obviously, sometimes there's a game where I think last year against St. Louis, Edmonton had 2 power plays, and I think the Blues had 7 or 8. And then that's a situation where it's so egregious where you're like, that's a little bit interesting. But at the end of the day, the refs, it's a tough job out there. It's the playoffs. Things happen fast. Players are playing hard. I don't hold anything personally against the officials. Sometimes it benefits you. Sometimes it does not. The Oilers have been on the other side of numerous calls from officials. A couple of years ago, there was a clear high stick in overtime against the Los Angeles Kings that they did not reverse the call, and the Kings won in overtime. There have been obviously other numerous moments that I could bring up with regards to plays that affected Edmonton negatively. Last night, Vegas happened to be affected negatively. It's one of those things. It happens. And Vegas, for the most part, if you take a look at their power play to penalty ratio over the past several years, they are usually pretty top of the league in terms of the differential. They usually have more power plays than penalty kills, and by a pretty significant margin. And this year as well, in the regular season, Vegas had the least amount of penalties taken, but they had one of the least amount of power plays given to them. So refs during Vegas games, it's usually 5-on-5. I can see where fan frustration would come in. We all want consistency, right? That's all we care about as hockey fans. We just want some consistency. But Bruce Cassidy and Mark Stone calling out the officials last night. Keep an eye on Game 3 now, because obviously, they're going to be under a microscope. Whoever the officials are in Game 3, they're going to be under a microscope. But that is it for me. That is just what I wanted to talk about. Wanted to talk about Nicolas Roy's hearing with player safety, likely going to get suspended for 1 game. I can't imagine it being any more than 1 game. Maybe he's lucky and it is only a fine. Just one of those, like, don't do that again. We saw that. And obviously the Oilers have a 2-0 series lead right now. Missed calls going both ways. It ended up benefiting Edmonton in the overtime. We'll see how things respond for Game 3. We'll see how the officials respond, but I'm not going to get too worked up about it. I'm not going to overthink it. At the end of the day, you got to play through it, and good teams find ways to win. Let's see if Edmonton can go home and see what they can do with home ice advantage that they have now stolen completely from the Vegas Golden Knights. I hope you all have a wonderful day, a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful evening, depending when you're watching this. I appreciate all of your support lately. We have been climbing the subscription ladder so much. The growth of the channel has been absolutely insane. We're up to 5,500 subscribers, and that is just wild to me. Over 5,000 5,000 views on my post-game fan reaction last night. So thank you all for your likes, your comments, your subscriptions, the donations. Oh my goodness, we had a super thanks last night, $20 super thanks. The donations during the live streams, it's been unbelievable, your support. Thank you all so much. I hope you all have a terrific day. We'll see you tomorrow morning, Saturday morning. I will have the pregame report up for Game 3 between the Oilers and the Las Vegas Golden Knights. And then tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. local time here in Alberta, I will be going live once again, live stream commentary. Try and rest this voice up because going into overtime last night during commentary, it has been absolutely destroyed. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Tell someone that you love them. And as always, fight like a kid, fight like Ben. Let's go Oilers. Let's keep the good times rolling here in oil country. Let's go.